to reach their breeding grounds. One salmon starts 2 meters away from the waterfall. Waterfall is 0.55 meters high. Jumps at an angle of 32 degrees.
All right.
First, again, we're repeating this.
Given.
What are my givens?
0.55 displacement.
Delta Y is 0.55 meters.
And delta X is 2.0 meters.
And A is 9.81 meters.
And theta is 32 degrees.
And my theta, my angle, is 32 degrees.
And we're looking for VI.
Wait. Slow down. No.
Don't need you to try to reread the notes to me. You should be able to turn your page in your notes and follow me up here. Because I have the active board. I can scroll back to that. I don't need to do that.
So you want to
now, you want to try to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first thing, I need to find out what formula I need to use. I'm going to solve for time. In this case, I can use to solve for my delta t. The reason I want to do that is because when I solve, I don't have time, but if I solve for what time equals, then I can find out what velocity, the minimum velocity is what this question is asking for. What is the minimum speed to reach this waterfall? My minimum velocity is determined by an equation. The equation I'm going to use is the delta y equation. I use the delta y equation because it has enough of the variables. I know how to find delta t. So I know that if I can find delta t, I'll be left with just one variable, v sub I, which is my initial velocity. This is what you have to go through when you're trying to decide what formula you want to use. What is it that you're going to have to manipulate, and which one would be the easiest to manipulate to get the information you're looking for? If I use this delta y formula, what is the delta y formula? Anybody know what it is without looking at their book or looking at their notes? Because all we're doing is adding angles to it. The original one is delta y equals v sub I delta t plus 1/2 at squared. What is the one with the angle?
Delta y, that's why VI, VI cos.
It's sine.
It's sine theta. Delta t plus
Times A.
That's my formula. Now delta y, I can solve for delta t. Solving for delta t gives me what? Solving for delta t is what?
delta x of VI cosine theta.
Why is she just hurry?
Because I have my value for t, Ms. Head, give me my formula now, substitute for t, without looking at your notes.
Don't you say head?
I say so. Delta y equals VI sine theta parentheses delta x over VI cosine theta parentheses plus 1/2 a parentheses delta x over VI sine theta squared.
So this formula is the same as this formula. I've substituted my t value in for all of my t's. And Ms. Head, eventually I'm trying to get to what? What am I trying to solve for? What am I trying to solve for? What's the question asking you for? The initial velocity, the minimum velocity required to reach the top of this waterfall. Now that I've done this, again, this is all simple arithmetic. I feel like it's got really cold in here. This is simple arithmetic. All I need to do is solve for my v sub I. So this is a question like this. Test your knowledge of the laws of algebra. Here, what is the first thing I can do, Miss Head? Let's move over to somebody. Miss Jalea, what's the first thing I can do? Jalea's not here. Tajma, what's the first thing I can do?
Subtract.
She's setting you up. So I want you to use your eyes and your brain, because Nia don't know. Is she not writing?
Why did you
Okay, well, can I look back on what we did in class?
Alright, hold on. Why did you put sine theta? You put cosine right there and sine right there
Where?
in the parentheses.
Here?
Cosine.
And then you put sine on the next
Oh, excuse me. See, cosine theta.
I was wondering that too.
Cosine theta.
The V and the V are crossed out.
No, it's not with your. I'm not playing games with y'all today. Without your notes, guys.
Okay, well.
So if you don't know, just say you don't know, and you can carry attitude if you like, but you have to step out. You coming to me. So now, anybody else want to work this one out for me? What you got, Josiah?
VI sine theta times delta x
Over
VI cos theta.
VI cosine theta. And we remember, what's up?
Sine theta and cosine theta equals 10.
Sine over cosine equals tangent,
10.
right?
Yeah.
So resolve this one for me. Before I go to this term over here, completely resolve this one for me. What should it be?
Delta x.
Delta
y equals
times
times 10.
Just this one. Just this one.
You can
cross out
Delta y.
This cancels.
And then
Sine,
delta y equals
cosine,
10
cancel.
over
So
delta.
that
Tan theta.
Tan theta.
Tangent theta times x. Tangent theta times delta x. Plus, here, somebody resolve this one for me.
it's the same thing, right?
What you got, Jip? I like that. What you go for?
Is it like one? No, you don't have to have it one because it's two.
You get-
Is it delta x over 2 v sub I tangent theta a?
So this over here, just to give myself some room if I write it up here, this is 1/2 a over 1 delta x squared v sub I squared cosine theta
Oh, I know. You gotta go straight across.
squared. Straight across.
Cancel them one.
This is the same as this. So what is it?
Cancel
Cancel the ones out.
one out.
Okay.
So
And then
two.
maybe
So it's 2 v
A.
sub I.
So straight across, what do I got?
2 v sub I squared cosine.
A delta x squared
And 2.
That's how it's gonna be.
Over
Squared.
VI.
over 2 vi squared cosine theta
Squared.
squared.
My philosophy.
Okay, let's strike it.
Work?
No. It says you need to calibrate it.
So this is the formula I'm left with. Delta y equals tangent theta delta x plus a delta x squared over 2 v sub I squared cosine theta squared. That's what I'm left with now. Now, let me rewrite it.
Yeah.
I'm going to minimize it some more. Okay. Delta y equals tangent theta delta x plus a delta x squared over 2 v sub I squared cosine theta squared. Now I'm trying to get v sub I by itself. What do? First things first.
Subtract.
Subtract what?
Multiply.
No.
You do tan.
Delta
You
y
do tan.
minus tan theta delta x.
Delta y
Minus.
minus tangent theta x. Move this over here. Equals a delta x squared over, v sub I squared cosine theta squared. I didn't go through the step of subtracting from this side and this side. I just resolved it. This is my next step here. Now what should I do? We're almost there.
Divide.
Multiply. What should I multiply?
Vi squared by both sides. 2 vi, no.
The whole thing.
All
So the
that.
whole thing
We're all
is-
the same.
2vi squared cosine theta squared by both sides. It's going to cancel this out. And what I'm going to be left with is 2v sub I squared cosine theta squared all times delta y. Who just walked out?
Christian.
Tangent theta delta x equals what?
A delta x squared.
What's next? Trying to get v sub I by itself?
You have to find out.
Stand out there. Stand out there. These are multiplied times each other. Stand out there. Trying to get v sub I by itself.
Divide cosine theta by cosine.
Divide what?
Cosine theta squared by cosine.
2vi squared cosine theta squared by both sides.
Divide all that.
Divide what? Divide is right, but divide this side by what?
Except for 2vi.
Divide the
2vi squared.
Cosine.
No, we just multiplied to get it over here. I don't want to move it back over there now.
divide the a delta x squared by the.
Okay, which term has my v sub I in it? This one or this one? This one. So I want this one to stay.
So cosine theta.
So I want to divide this side by which term? I want this one to stay.
Delta y minus tan theta delta x.
This one. If I divide this side by this cancels, and I'm left with 2 v sub I squared cosine theta squared equals a delta x squared over delta y minus tangent theta delta x.
Say that one more time.
No, it's right here.
No, it's about. How do you,
I divided this side by y, delta y minus tangent theta delta x, and canceled this out and moved it over here. Divide both sides by this. This is what? Is that what it is? This is my formula. This is where I am now. Now, what's my next step?
you got it.
Can I copy that and move it to another page?
Yeah.
How do I do that? I gotta select it like I did? Alright, Blake. Come on.
I selected everything.
Yeah, I don't know how to select just that part right there.
Maybe you can do it to a computer.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Wait.
What is it now?
V sub I.
Oh, go ahead.
It's 2v sub I cosine squared. Divide cosine
Cosine theta squared equals
a
delta x squared over delta y minus tan theta
delta x.
This is where I am now. Now what can I do? I'm still trying to get v sub I by itself. Trying to get v sub I by itself. Everything over here is multiplied times each other, so to separate them, I got to do what? To separate them, I divide. I can divide this whole side by 2 cosine theta squared. This cancels. This cancels. I'm left with vi squared equals a delta x squared over delta y minus tangent theta delta x times
This is the longest problem in history.
1 over 2 cosine theta squared. This is the same thing. I divided this side by it, and I'm dividing this side by that same value. So vi squared equals, put them together, vi squared equals a delta x squared over delta y minus tangent theta delta x times 2 cosine theta squared.